Jason Kenney sometimes attacks Danielle Smith, but here he is on CBC defending Danielle Smith and calling David Eby a mud hutter. We're going to play this clip here.
Exports of the entire Canadian lumber industry, and that doesn't even include the huge multi-billion-dollar investments in upstream development.
Right. Okay. You don't tweet often, but when you do, you tweet at length, and you did that today. You did make this lumber point, but you also said David Eby is objectively a much bigger threat to Confederation and to the rule of law than Alberta separatists. You talked about the law being clear, as we learned with TMX, but you talk about a conversation I guess you had with the late John Horgan, where you said that his party, he told you, included a mud hut wing of green extremists, which I took to include Eby, and you called the Premier of British Columbia an ideological zealot who's not on Team Canada. That's a lot, Jason Kenney. I mean, but why go there? I mean, what does that do to this?
Well, I was watching Eby pretending to be part of Team Canada, be Captain Canada, the guy who's given the Chinese shipyard this subsidized by the Chinese government and the People's Liberation Army, these shipping jobs. He found himself in a convenience store in Tokyo when the first ministers were meeting about creating one Canadian economy, knocking down trade barriers. And now he's standing in the way of the single largest potential project to create wealth and diversify exports that is on offer in the Canadian economy when he has absolutely no legal or constitutional authority to do so. He is a lawyer, but he is performatively acting like a demagogue right now. He knows that the Constitution, Section 9210 of the 1867 Constitution Act, gives the federal government exclusive authority over interprovincial infrastructure, including pipelines, as reaffirmed unanimously by both the BC Appeals Court and the Supreme Court of Canada quite recently. And so the reason I say he's a bigger threat, I don't think the Alberta separatists, the hardcore separatists, are actually a serious threat. I think they're a very small minority. But this is a BC Premier using his office to violate and threaten the Constitution and to say to patriotic Albertans and Saskatchewan residents that he's going to try to use his political authority against the clear letter of the Constitution to block provinces from exporting what they produce, which is undermining the entire premise of Confederation as an economic union.
Well,
Mud Hutter.
Sounds like a forbidden slur of some kind, that, doesn't it? Quite a strange term. But yeah, it's I mean, we should say Eby, because obviously I assume that Cochrane said what I'm about to say now, but Eby has said that, contrary to what Kenny's claiming now, that this isn't even a project at all. Also, Adrian Dix gave an interview yesterday, very funny interview, where he said, this project isn't even a project. It's like, well, if it isn't a project, why are you calling it a project? But anyway, they would say this is not a real project. It's not going to happen. It's fake. It's not real. Whereas, look at our glorious LNG and wind turbine project. This is the future. And, you know, we've heard that a lot, haven't we, lately? But just to get his his perspective on the record there, that's what he would say in response to that.
I think one of the things Danielle Smith said in her little promo video there, which was a good promo video with the slow-mo and everything, that's what we got to get on this show, a little slow-mo, right? $9 trillion it's in the ground right now, $9 trillion. And I think, I don't know how you spin the windmill thing up, but I don't think it's going to spin anywhere near $9 trillion in value for Canadians.
Might cost that much.
Might cost, there you go.
But yeah, it's he makes an interesting point, doesn't he, about Eby being a threat to Confederation. It's obvious. It's not just Eby though. Eby's hardly the sort of wellspring of this kind of thing, is he? He's just a tool, really, being used by other people. Bear in mind, he's being attacked from the other side. He's not just being attacked from the Alberta pro-natural resources people. He's being attacked from Greens and his own sort of left-wing environmentalists in his own party who are upset with him about LNG. And, you know, I mean, hard to believe, but there are people that are still really, really allergic to LNG. They really actively despise it and think that it's going to, you know, destroy the world and all the rest of it. So he's kind of it's a balancing act for him, isn't it? He's trying to keep them on side. And I think part of his strategy is to say, okay, no oil. I draw the line at oil. And also just some Alberta bashing. He loves to bash other provinces, though, doesn't he? Like, this is another, I don't know if Kenny mentioned this in the interview, but just in the last few months, he's bashed Ontario and Quebec endlessly for how they, you know, take money from, equalization payments and how they get everything that they want, why he doesn't, how they send immigrants, asylum seekers, all the rest of it. Alberta just bashes Alberta every day, doesn't he? And then the Maritimes constantly going on about the Maritimes, how they get more money for their ferries and things like that. It's like, he's playing a dangerous game. And he's the kind of guy that likes to stand up behind a podium and put on his serious voice and his serious face, serious droopy face, and say things like, this is dangerous. This is dangerous, and I don't like this talk. And it's kind of, you're doing the exact same thing. And if anything, I hear more from him attacking other provinces than I do from Danielle Smith. So, he needs to give his head a shake.
Yeah. I'm thinking that Mud Hutter thing might stick. We got one person here that likes it, so I don't know.